You've been told your whole life that the key to staying healthy after 60 is simple: just walk more. Get your steps in. Aim for 8,000 or 10,000 a day, and everything will take care of itself. Walking is excellent for your heart and lungs, and no one is denying that. But here's what often gets left out of the conversation. After age 60, the biggest threat to your independence isn't your cardiovascular fitness, it's muscle loss. And walking alone is not enough to stop it. Starting as early as your 30s, your body begins to lose muscle mass in a process known as sarcopenia. On average, adults lose about 3 to 5% of their muscle mass per decade, and that rate accelerates after 60. By the time many people reach their 70s, they may have lost a significant portion of their strength. That loss shows up in everyday life: struggling to get out of a chair, needing help on stairs, feeling unsteady when walking on uneven ground. Walking keeps you moving, but it does not provide enough resistance to meaningfully rebuild or preserve muscle. To maintain strength, balance, and bone health, you need targeted resistance exercises. The good news is that some of the most effective movements can be done sitting in a chair at home. Let's start with seated calf raises. This simple movement is often overlooked, but your calf muscles play a crucial role in circulation and balance. Every time your calves contract, they help push blood back up from your lower legs toward your heart. If these muscles are weak, circulation can become less efficient, contributing to swelling and a feeling of heaviness in the legs. To perform a seated calf raise, sit upright in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor and your knees bent at about 90 degrees. Press through the balls of your feet and lift your heels as high as you can. Hold the top position for 2 seconds, then slowly lower your heels back down over 3 to 4 seconds. That slow lowering phase is important because it challenges the muscle more effectively. Begin with 15 repetitions and gradually build up to 3 sets of 20 to 25. If it becomes easy, place a book or lightweight across your thighs to increase resistance. Next are seated knee extensions, which directly target your quadriceps, the large muscles at the front of your thighs. These muscles are essential for standing up, climbing stairs, and getting in and out of a car. Unfortunately, they tend to weaken quickly with age if not specifically trained. To perform this exercise, sit tall with your back supported and your hands holding the sides of the chair for stability. Straighten one leg out in front of you until your knee is fully extended and your toes are pointing upward. Squeeze your thigh muscle firmly and hold for 3 seconds. Then lower your foot slowly back to the floor over a count of 4. Switch legs and repeat. Aim for 12 repetitions per leg and complete 3 sets. Focus on consciously tightening the muscle at the top of the movement rather than just lifting the leg passively. When this becomes manageable, you can add ankle weights or a resistance band for extra challenge. The third movement is seated hip marches. Your hip flexor muscles are responsible for lifting your legs each time you take a step. When they weaken, your stride shortens and your feet may not clear the ground properly, increasing the risk of tripping. Strengthening these muscles can improve walking mechanics and reduce fall risk. Sit near the front edge of your chair with your spine tall and your core gently engaged. Lift one knee toward your chest as high as you comfortably can without leaning back. Hold for 2 to 3 seconds, then lower your foot slowly to the floor. Alternate legs in a controlled manner. Avoid swinging or using momentum. Perform 20 total repetitions and work up to 3 sets. As you grow stronger, you can extend the hold at the top or add light ankle weights to increase difficulty. Now consider seated rows with a resistance band. Many people who walk regularly still develop rounded shoulders and a forward head posture because walking does not significantly strengthen the upper back. Strong back muscles are essential for maintaining good posture, reducing neck and shoulder discomfort, and supporting balance. To perform a seated row, sit upright with your feet flat and loop a resistance band around the soles of your feet. Hold one end of the band in each hand with your arms extended in front of you and slight tension in the band. Pull your elbows back toward your sides while squeezing your shoulder blades together. Hold that squeeze for 2 seconds, then slowly extend your arms forward again without letting the band snap back. Complete 15 repetitions and perform 3 sets. The last few repetitions should feel challenging, but still controlled. If the band feels too light, switch to a stronger one. Finally, the most important exercise in this routine is the sit-to-stand squat. This movement closely mirrors daily life. Every time you stand up from a chair, get out of bed, or rise from the toilet, you are performing a version of this exercise. It engages your quadriceps, glutes, calves, core, and back all at once, making it one of the most functional strength builders available. To do it properly, sit in a chair with your feet slightly wider than hip width apart. Cross your arms over your chest to avoid pushing off with your hands. Lean your torso slightly forward so your weight shifts over your feet, then press through your heels and stand up fully until your hips and knees are straight. Pause briefly at the top, then lower yourself back down slowly over 4 to 6 seconds, lightly touching the chair before beginning the next repetition. Start with 10 repetitions and gradually work up to 3 sets of 15. As you improve, you can hold a light weight at your chest or slow down the lowering phase to increase the challenge. Walking absolutely has value for heart health and overall mobility, and it should remain part of a healthy routine. But if your goal is to maintain independence, prevent falls, protect your joints, and preserve bone density as you age, resistance exercises like these are essential. You do not need a gym, expensive machines, or complicated programs. A sturdy chair, a resistance band, and a commitment to training 3 times per week are enough to make a meaningful difference. Start with 1 or 2 movements, master them, and gradually build the full routine. Over time, you will likely notice that everyday tasks feel easier and your confidence in your body grows stronger. You have also probably been told that if you stay active in general, that is enough. Gardening, light housework, casual walks around the neighborhood. All of it helps, and it absolutely does. But here's the important distinction. Activity is not the same as strength training. Activity keeps you moving. Strength training forces your muscles and bones to adapt, and adaptation is what protects your independence. Without that stimulus, your body slowly becomes less capable each year, even if you feel busy every day. One of the biggest misconceptions is that resistance training is only for younger people or for those who want to build large muscles. In reality, after 60, strength training becomes more about preservation than appearance. It is about maintaining the ability to carry groceries without strain, to stand in the kitchen without back pain, to step off a curb confidently, and to catch yourself if you trip. Muscle is not just about power, it is about protection. Strong muscles act like armor for your joints. They absorb shock, stabilize movement, and reduce the load placed on cartilage and ligaments. Another critical piece of the puzzle is bone health. As we age, bone density naturally declines, especially in postmenopausal women and older men with lower activity levels. Bones respond to stress the same way muscles do. When you challenge them with weight-bearing resistance, they receive a signal to stay strong. When you do not, they gradually weaken. Chair-based resistance exercises, particularly movements like sit-to-stands, create safe, controlled stress to the hips and legs. Over time, this can help maintain stronger bones and reduce fracture risk. Balance is another area that quietly declines with age. Many people do not notice small changes until a stumble happens. Strength training improves balance indirectly by strengthening the muscles that control your hips, ankles, and core. When those muscles respond quickly and powerfully, they help you correct your posture before a small misstep turns into a fall. Even exercises performed while seated can enhance neuromuscular coordination, meaning your brain and muscles communicate more efficiently. It is also worth talking about metabolism. Muscle tissue is metabolically active, which means it burns more calories at rest than fat tissue. As muscle mass decreases with age, metabolism slows. This can contribute to gradual weight gain, especially around the abdomen. Resistance training helps counteract that slowdown by preserving lean tissue. You may not notice dramatic changes on the scale, but over time, maintaining muscle makes weight management easier and supports better blood sugar control. If you are just starting, the most important principle is progression. Your body adapts only when it is challenged slightly beyond its current capacity. That does not mean pushing to exhaustion or risking injury. It means gradually increasing repetitions, slowing down the lowering phase, extending holds, or adding small amounts of resistance. Even a 1 or 2 pound increase can be enough to stimulate new strength gains. Consistency matters far more than intensity. 3 focused sessions per week done regularly will outperform occasional bursts of extreme effort. Recovery is just as important as exercise itself. Muscles rebuild and strengthen during rest, not during the workout. Allow at least 1 day between strength sessions for the same muscle groups. Stay hydrated, eat adequate protein, and get sufficient sleep. These foundational habits amplify the benefits of your training and help reduce soreness. Mild muscle fatigue is normal when starting something new, but sharp joint pain is not. Movements should feel challenging yet controlled. It is also helpful to track your progress. Notice how many repetitions you can perform today compared to 4 weeks from now. Pay attention to how easily you rise from a chair or climb stairs. Improvement may be gradual, but it is measurable. That sense of progress can be incredibly motivating. Many older adults report that after several weeks of consistent chair exercises, they feel steadier, more upright, and more confident in daily activities. Importantly, strength training does not replace walking. It complements it. Walking supports cardiovascular endurance, circulation, and mental well-being. Resistance exercises support muscle, bone, and joint integrity. Together, they form a complete approach to aging well. When combined, they help you maintain both stamina and strength, the ability to move for longer periods, and the power to move with control. If you have existing medical conditions, joint replacements, or chronic pain, it is wise to consult a healthcare professional before beginning a new routine. Many of these seated movements are specifically recommended in rehabilitation settings because they are low impact and easily modified. The key is adjusting range of motion and resistance to match your current ability level. There is no benefit in rushing. Progress at a pace that feels sustainable. Perhaps the most powerful reason to include resistance training after 60 is psychological. Strength builds confidence. Each repetition reinforces the message that your body is capable and adaptable. That mindset influences how you move throughout the day. When you trust your strength, you move with more assurance. You take stairs instead of avoiding them. You engage in activities instead of withdrawing from them. That positive cycle supports both physical and emotional well-being. Aging is inevitable, but rapid decline is not. Small, consistent actions compound over time. 15 to 20 minutes of focused strength work, 3 times per week, may not seem dramatic in the moment. Yet over months and years, that commitment can mean the difference between relying on assistance and maintaining independence. It can mean fewer falls, less joint discomfort, and greater freedom to enjoy travel, hobbies, and time with family. So rather than asking whether walking is good enough, a better question might be, are your muscles being challenged in a way that encourages them to stay strong? If the answer is no, adding simple chair-based resistance exercises could be one of the most impactful changes you make. Start gradually, remain consistent, and let your body adapt. Strength is not reserved for the young. With the right stimulus and regular practice, it can be built and maintained at any age.